Workers' comp insurance is normally required if you have at least one employee working for your business. These are the 5 ways that workers' comp insurance is priced, and the things that affect that pricing will depend on some of these things. First thing that affects your pricing is the kind of work that you're doing. So, if you're in an office building and you're an insurance agent like us, your pricing for workers' comp is going to be a lot different if you're a contractor climbing 3 stories, doing any painting, sandblasting, excavating, tree trimming, anything like that. So, depending on your class of business and what the actual work is that you're doing, that will determine what your price is for workers' comp insurance. The second thing that will determine your price for workers' comp insurance is your payroll. So whether you have 1 employees or 10 employees, do you have $10,000 in payroll or $100,000 in payroll or $1 million in payroll? Once you know the type of business that you're doing and the type of work that is being done. So for example, let's say you're a contractor, but you're in an office, not in the field. Then we want to know what your payroll is, because the rate that is set for that specific class of business will then be multiplied times the payroll for that specific rate. And that's how we come up with the price. The third thing that determines your price for workers' comp insurance is your experience modification rating, or referred to sometimes as an X mod. What does that mean? So, based on your claims history, is how your experience mod rating will be adjusted. So, everybody starts at 1. 1 is your base level. If you go a couple of years without having any claims, that can reduce down to, let's say, 0.9 or 0.95, which means that you are 95% of the level than your peers are. So you're 5% better than your peers at handling claims. If, let's say, you have a lot of claims on your history and your experience mod is a little higher, it could be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. That means that you're 30% higher on the spectrum in terms of claims activity when matched up against your peers. So if we're looking at it from the beginning, the type of work that you do and the industry that you're working in, the payroll and number of employees that you have, and the experience modification rating, those are the 3 top things that are going to determine your price. Another thing that determines your price, and this is at the end because this depends on certain states. So, number 4 and number 5 only apply to certain states. There are states like Ohio, I believe, and Washington that are monopolistic states, which means that the state itself creates the pricing, the state itself sells the insurance, and there's nothing any insurance company can do about it. There are other places, like New York State, for example, where every company is allowed to set their own price. That is called the loss cost multiplier. So, whatever an insurance company sets up their rate, let's say, for example, an insurance company really, really likes contractors and they want to specialize in contractors. They may set a lower rate for contractors than they do restaurants or apartment buildings. So, depending on the carrier that you're with or the insurance company that you're with, your rate could be higher or it could be lower, the same as regular types of insurance. This again only applies to certain states. Another thing that determines your rate and you may qualify for, depending on your state, is any credits or rebates. So, depending on, again, your history with your claims, depending on the type of work that you do, depending on how attractive your business is to an insurance company and how your broker sells you, you might be able to get rebates and refunds at the end of the year. For safety, you might be able to get different underwriting credits and discounts because you have a safety group organized, or you have, a return to work program, or you have a really good safety plan in place that can be audited. So these are all things that affect your rate. So if we want to start again from the beginning, the 5 things that affect your workers' comp pricing. Number 1 is going to be the type of business that you're doing or the type of work that you're doing. Number 2 is your payroll, number of employees. Number 3 is your experience, mod rating, and your claims history. Number four is your loss cost multiplier, or what the insurance company has as a rate for workers' comp insurance. And number five is any credits that apply to you because of either safety protocols that you've put in place, return to work program, or anything that you're doing on your own to control losses and to prevent injuries from happening in the workplace.